Good morning, everyone. Once again, this is Black Forest coming to you with another market analysis video. This morning, we're going to be looking at the USDCAD. Okay, but before we get started to break down this Forex pair, we have to say this video is for educational purposes only. This is not financial advice, but we all know why you guys are here, which is to find good, credible Forex content that can help improve your ability as a trader and put a little bit extra money in your pocket. Okay, but now that being said, let's go ahead and break down this currency pair. Okay. Now, before we talk about what's happening physically on the chart, the technical analysis, we need to talk about and do a fundamental analysis of what is going on with each respective currency. We'll discuss the CAD first. Okay. So what's happening with the CAD, as I said in previous videos, the CAD has been basically a lukewarm currency. It's been a currency right there in the middle, not strong, not weak, where basically all you news is dictating whether it acts as strong or whether it acts as weak. Okay, because the Canadian dollar and oil have a correlated direct relationship with each other. Okay, and as of I believe yesterday, we did get some oil news that came out a little in the gray area, okay? Because previously it was about 4 million barrels. They predicted that it was going to drop down to negative 1.5 million barrels, and it only dropped down to negative 3 million barrels. So the drop down wasn't as bad as they thought, but it's still worse than it was previously. So due to this, we started to see somewhat of an uptake in strength in the CAD because we was previously going up to around this area here, like we said we were going to in the previous video, but then we started to drop down in price as soon as that oil news came out. But that oil news is a little shaky, even though it's better than what they predicted. Definitely it's better than what they predicted it's going to be, but it's actually worse than what it was previously. So eventually, we're going to start to see some CAD lose some the strength that it gained from oil, and then this chart start to pick back up pretty soon. Okay, so anytime you have the situation where the CAD is right there in the middle between strong and weak, you got to pay attention to oil to see what's going on because that's going to be the push to whether it's going to be on the weaker side or the stronger side. Okay, with the USD, we got a lot of positive news coming out about the USD throughout the week. We did have some negative news, but we have more positive than negative news, which is more of a testament to these economic policies and measures and interventions being put in place by the Fed and the U.S. government is actually starting to help battle the inflation. And also with gas prices going down, consumers have more money to spend in the stores. With more money to spend in the stores, that means that our economy is growing. A growing economy means a stronger U.S. dollar. Okay. So, and also on the other hand, we do got some news coming out between 8:15 and 8:30 that's going to have a great effect on the US dollar as well. It's really high impact news. So you got to be paying attention to that as well so you can be able to trade any USD pairs safely and profitably. Okay. Now that we got that out the way, let us discuss what is going to happen on the charts. Okay. So we were ranging out for quite some time, as you can see. We were ranging out, but then we started to drop down, drop down, drop down, drop down, drop down, right? And this drop down was all stemming from how during this time how gas was getting crazy. This is when the price per barrel per oil was like 120, 125. So that started to give CAD all the strength it needed to bring price down. Okay. And then once we started to get the American government start making different interventions to increase the circulation of gas and increase the circulation of oil in the world circulation. Then we started to see the CAD weakening and price pick up. So we picked up to this point back here before we had an aggressive push down. The aggressive push down came on a lot more aggressive than what I thought because I thought we would stop in this area here before we came off. But we basically stopped in the area where we took off last time, and that's okay. Now, what's happening right now that seems like price is going to get pushed back up to this area here is the fact that the news that came out about what the CAD and affiliation with the oil. Now, the oil news, like I said previous in this video, was better than what they predicted, but is worse than it was previously. So that kind of give you a gray area where you may have a little bit of temporary strength for the moment, but then some weakness is going to end up kicking in. Okay. And if we definitely get some positive news with this news that's supposed to be coming up between 8:15 and 8:30, we're going to definitely see a push up to this area right here before we start probably getting rangy, shaking it, and coming down. And if we do come down, I don't think that we're going to be as aggressive as it did the last time. Okay. So what's going to happen is we're going to have a push up to this area here, possibly as high as this area here, before we start ranging out and coming back down. And if we do, we'll just probably come down to this area here before we continue back in our long position. Okay. Now, is it possible that we can keep going down? It's possible that if the USD news comes out very negatively and the oil news starts to pick up, and then we have some positive CAD news, we could get down to this general area here before we start to see price pick back up again. But for the most part, we're mostly looking at here, bouncing from here, going as high as here, coming down to here before continuing to go up in the long position. Okay, but remember, all these things are going to be contingent on what is happening with each currency's respective economic fundamental news, and also looking at what's happening with oil. Okay, so I hope this information was helpful for you guys. Happy trading.